Yet another meeting in Thornton Township has been canceled. No quorum. Chris Gonzalez didn't show up. Carmen Carlile didn't show up. Now Tiffany Henyard, yep, she is calling for them to resign. What's going to happen? Let's get into it. Here we go. Let's check in with ABC News Chicago. Here we go.
It was supposed to be embattled Supervisor Tiffany Henyard's first time back at the head of Thornton Township since her failed bid to get on the re-election ballot. But that meeting never got underway.
They called it off because they didn't have a quorum. 2 trustees were absent, and as our Sarah Maki shows us, it's not the first time.
Shocker.
Y'all should reach out to your trustees because they are not doing their job. They are neglecting their duty as the elected official, which is to show up.
Supervisor Tiffany Henyard couldn't hold Thornton Township's regularly scheduled board meeting Tuesday, and not for the first time.
Due to the fact that we do not have a quorum.
And like previous occasions, she took the opportunity to outline her position.
The lawyers have told us several times that we will not be able to continue to operate because we do not have insurance.
Saying as the municipality continues to run without insurance coverage, residents could face fewer services or even a shutdown, though she didn't give a timeline for one. The room was tense, with shouting before, during, and after the meeting.
I am very proud. I'm Chris Gonzalez.
Some residents turning out to support the absent trustees, Chris Gonzalez and Carmen Carlile.
I've been watching the activities that have occurred here for the last year, and I'm very concerned.
Henyard continues to face criticism of her spending at Thornton Township and as mayor of Dolton.
We have a budget. We have the money. We have everything. Please stop.
This is Thornton Township's last scheduled Board of Trustees meeting for 2024. It is also the 7th they have canceled for lack of quorum this year. From South Holland, Sarah Maki, CBS News, Chicago.
All right, so we're going to check out this one. So that was just a lead up to the meeting that didn't happen. Here is that meeting. We're back with Critical Smoker. He's up doing live stream. We caught a couple from Burgundy Blue, but let's check in with Critical Smoker, give him a subscribe, get him over 4,000 subscribers. Here we go. We're going to watch basically the segment where Tiffany Henyard kind of outlines everything that she sees going wrong and why these 2 trustees should resign. Here we go.
Never been here in life.
Okay. Right here, in us, studying different meetings. 4 of them regular scheduled board meetings and 3 was special board meetings. Unfortunately, each time the board of trustees, the 2 individuals, Trustee Carmen and Trustee Chris, and now it's a Peter board, caused us to not have a quorum. As you guys know how government works. We cannot move forward with business. We cannot pay bills. We cannot do a lot of things if board members do not show up. I know that
the board members are not showing up because their attorney is telling them, don't show up. So I believe Chris Gonzalez. I believe Carmen Carlile. I don't believe anything Tiffany Henyard says. I just don't, because she said so many different things that don't make any sense, and she makes statements and doesn't back them up with any kind of proof whatsoever. So I'm just going to go with, well, they're doing this for a reason, because politics, basically. This is a political game.
Get you all of this mixed emotions, this mixed information as well as to be just duplicates. We do not move without board approval. When the board approves things, then things get taken care of. Life insurance.
Let's talk about that for a second. Do we need board approval for this insurance? I don't know. I mean, everybody has a different story, right? Does Tiffany Henyard, does she not have the ability to get bonded? I know some governmental entities, municipal entities will require their board members to be bonded in case something goes sideways during their position in leadership within the community. Does she not have the ability to get bonded? Or is it just the fact they've got 49 lawsuits or whatever the number is against not only Tiffany, but Township of Thornton and Village of Dalton? Is she not insurable? I don't know. And frankly, I'm at the point where I don't really care. Right? This is an issue. This is going on. Do we even need a board meeting to reinstitute, to approve an insurance package. It doesn't seem like they should. Maybe I'm just wildly out of line there, but I think the insurance issue is being held up as, hey, we can't get this done, when in fact they probably could without a board vote. But they're pushing to get, Tiffany Henyard is pushing to get that other position filled with one of her people so that she can have a tiebreaker vote and continue on with her agenda.
On the agenda, several different facts. Each time, one have shown up, like myself, the clerk, and trustee Aaron. The only ones that are shown up among the are to pay for the insurance. When they did not show up to pay for the insurance, it caused us to lapse in coverage. Therefore, no coverage for Thornton Township, for our buildings, for our vehicles, or anything. So to this day, we still have no coverage as relates to the buildings or our vehicles. So that means that services and our buildings will have to come to a halt. We cannot be present up. We cannot access our buildings into our buildings. If someone falls or crash out in a car accident, we cannot accept that risk. So therefore, that's why you see 3 building is closed down. People now has been forward with closure of all your buildings, and I did not want to go on this new year like this, and this why we on this discussion to take care of a much needed defense before.
If the other 2 trustees didn't show up to all those other meetings, why would they show up to this one? Why would they show up to this one? Oh, yeah, I guess we'll go in now and we'll just deal with all that stuff, even though Tiffany Henyard is going to try and ram down this position down our throats. They're not going to show up. They're being advised by legal attorneys to do this. And it makes sense because they've got a timeline coming up that's going to impact things. The further they can draw this out, the more likelihood is that this will go against Tiffany Henyard one way or the other. And this is politics. You're just looking at some nasty politics being played. And they've been played on the other side by Tiffany Henyard as well. And by nasty, I don't mean out of line. I mean just this is how far they're having to dig down to push back against the supermayor and a lot of what she's brought to the township.
Try to or keep the search system like here for a township. All the special meetings that come worked in having critical issues such as insurance, budgets, and also disaster. Yet, some trustees have been out for showing up.
What I would say there is trustees have been asking for information literally now. It's coming on years. They have been asking for information. They have not received it so that they can make a logical decision on which way they're going to go. They haven't been showed anything on the insurance package. They just haven't. So why would they go ahead and just sign off and vote, yeah, let's take that policy? You got some stuff going on here. You got some real stuff going on behind the scenes that if there really was transparency on the part of the supermayor, this wouldn't even be a conversation because they'd be way past this. We'd be on to a different topic. But because of zero transparency by the supermayor, this is where we sit.
You have called from the referendum. But when they go out a meeting, the discussion in the Friday, and then hearing that dog park, y'all know, no way I will want to go to dog park. But when I get there, I still showed up and I still took care of the business before me. Because my job is to do my job. Not care about fighting, not care about who likes who. My job is to show up and take care of the people's business, which we need. When we call meetings, people don't show up. And actually not. Just explain, look further for those that understand what's going on before you. Our board is gridlock. Lately, there have been 2-2. Myself, Trustee Resignations, against Trustee Chris and Trustee Carmen. So it is gridlock.
And that is all true. And that's where the appointment of the new position that Jerry Jones stepped down from, that's why that's so critical, because that's the tiebreaker vote. Tiff wants to bring in her person, Chris Gonzalez and Carlile, they want to handle it differently. We'll just see how it goes.
That means bills, pay any type of insurance. You can't be dealing with things that's needed to stay above board. Today's meeting was supposed to have an insurance, the budget, and a tax levy, which is supposed to be filed by December 31st. Those default go. Every government entity, whether you're the liability part of school or a village or city, has a deadline December 31st to pass your tax levy. That is the taxes that's levied for people to operate in the public year. I will not continue to play these games with the legislative branch, and I will not allow them to overstep.
So if you're not going to play games, what are you going to be doing? What are you doing? Because you're playing games right now. You're holding, I love the title of this video from Critical Smoker. Thornton Township Trustees non-meeting, December 30th, 2024. Non-meeting. It was the meeting that is not. These are the games that Tiffany Henyard keeps playing. This is literally a game, and she's telling you, I'm not going to keep playing these games. Well, you are. And you continue to do them. And I am reporting on them because people want to see the train wreck that is Tiffany Henyard. Now, I know there's a lot of supporters out there of Tiffany Henyard because she has given you stuff. That's why you're a supporter. If you were really looking out for the best interests of the township of Thornton overall, you'd want the supermayor out of there too. She's just helped you because you're one of her special interests. Nothing more. Nothing more. You are a part of the political ploy that is the township of Thornton. It's that power struggle going on. And as you keep supporting the supermayor, Tahoe Tiff without the Tahoes because they've been repoed. As you keep supporting her, you get what you pay for. All right, let's keep going.
As you can see, which is not getting ran due to the fact of them not showing up to board meetings. At this point, this is where we come to an end. Tomorrow, we will have to make the hard decisions of shutting down all of our units. We will have to make the hard decision of not picking up residents as it relates to them going to the doctor, to the grocery store, or anywhere else they choose to go. I am asking for everyone to pray for our township, to pray for everyone to be unharmed, and to pray that this.
You're going to need a little more than prayer. Prayer ain't going to cut it. Sorry to tell you. It's, if you feel better doing that, that's fine. But you need a quorum. That's bottom line, what you need. And you're not going to get that anytime soon, I don't think. You're going to have some kind of deal cut between these two parties because literally, the township has come to a grinding halt. Now, the insurance policy that was in place, that carrier basically said, no more. We're not covering you. You're too much of a liability. The odds of you getting sued yet again. How many times have we seen Tiffany Henyard accept, a subpoena? I get those all the time. She literally said that. I get those all the time. Just brushes it off, like it's just nothing. But you've got this situation where the township is literally going to shut down because that policy was extended with their old coverage for 1 month from December 1st, which was the end of November. They got it extended from December 1st to the end of December, and that just expired. Because their company said, the existing company that they had the old policy with said, we'll cover you for 1 month. We'll give you a 1 month extension. And then they're like, nope, we're out because you are too much of a liability, too many lawsuits. We're an insurance company. We do policies. You guys are not a good risk. How many lawsuits does the supermayor have? How many? Too many to count? Is that what I'm hearing? Yeah, that's why you can't get a policy, or the policy is so prohibitively expensive. I will be really curious to see what this policy comes out. Not only the auto, but the general liability. I mean, it has to be astronomical because of the legal liability anybody takes underwriting a policy on the village of Dalton, township of Thornton, or Tiffany Henyard herself. Period.
It's for the benefit of the people. We are here to handle the following taking decision. Today we had a group of bills, the General Fund, General Assistance Fund, and the Running Bridge Fund. Also on the agenda is to approve 100% property tax refund to all homeowners in Thornton Township. So let me explain to you how that works.
Do we have any more information on the tax refund? Do we know anything about it? No. And you know how we know that? Because if we did, it would be released and I'd be podcasting on that. I would tell you what that looks like. We've had zero information on that. And this is typical of the Tiffany Henyard administration. Talks about transparency, provides none. And says, oh yeah, you can get that here. You can get that here. You can get that here. Or we gave that to you. No, you didn't. Let's see it. Let's see what is it? A couple $1,000,000? Is it going to come out to $10, $20, $40 per person? Something like that. You overpaid in your taxes, citizens of Township of Thornton. This is a refund. This is your own money coming back to you without interest. Not smart, but it is what it is, right? It's like when you get a big refund from the IRS. You just let the IRS borrow money that was yours. Oh, I'm getting a refund. This is great. No, that's terrible money management. You could have been putting that money to work over the years, whenever the time period it was. Instead, you're getting a little refund. Yeah.
Yeah, Thornton Township took or allocated a portion of your funds for taxes. We are refunding you back that portion. So we took $50 and $50. And we took $200, you get $200. Just so we can clear up misinformation that's out there about the 100% tax property refund. Next, our staff. Our staff used to getting bonuses under the Frank Zuccarelli administration, and we want to give them a bonus as well. Especially for the holiday, the inflated prices for food and just cost of living, we would like to give them a bonus for this holiday, which normally they would get every single year. Unfortunately, the board of trustees, the team individuals have not shown enough to do so. Third on the example,
I think most residents, I am seeing more and more support for Chris Gonzalez and Carmen Carlile. I'm seeing more and more support for those individuals because it's just becoming clear that TIF is trying to stonewall so much of this, and you can only stonewall for so long without providing any evidence of the direction you're heading. And without an attorney telling us what's going on, this is why, then it's because they're keeping that to themselves, because that's information not only on Tiffany Henyard's side, who's always got an attorney. What mayor, what supervisor always has an attorney chasing her around, right? I mean, what do you got going on here? What do you need legal counsel for? You can show up to city councils and townships, all over the United States, and they don't have an attorney sitting next to their mayor, sitting next to their supervisor. So why is it that Township of Thornton has to have one and Village of Dalton has to have one? Interesting question, right? So many questions, so few answers, and we all know why. We know what the deal is. It's like the news story in the Lansing Journal. 12 important news stories that didn't involve Tiffany Henyard. So funny. I mean, it's true. There's all kinds of other stuff going on, but this is the one we watch because it's that train wreck and, I wonder how this is going to end up. One way or the other, it's going to end up, right?
As for that list, the most important thing that we needed to pass today is our insurance. As you can see, it's a committee for us to get someone else to take us on as relates to insurance coverage, and we have
their old carrier said, you're too much of a liability. We are not re-upping your policy. So they've got a broker that takes their package, submits their information to all these big companies and said, will you issue a municipal auto policy, a municipal general liability policy, and probably another couple of smaller policies. And for whatever reason, Tiffany Henyard believes that the board needs to approve this. And I don't think they've ever had to approve it before. So I believe that this insurance issue, which is literally causing the township to grind to an absolute halt, this is being used in a political ploy to make the two trustees come to the board meeting and, get going on all this. But their lawyer is Bert Odelson is saying, or is it Bert Odelson at Township of Thornton? I can't keep track of who's where, right? But their attorney is saying, no, don't show up.
On the agenda this evening to be voting on. We had this on there about 1 or 2 months ago to approve the insurance, which was nothing but renewal. And they could not come to a board meeting to renew the insurance when we didn't have no searching for what they care. Once the income, we put it in.
Why'd you have to go searching for a new carrier? How about provide some transparency on that? Let us know, why didn't the original insurance company re-up you? You only get canceled if you do something wrong. If you create liability, even if it's not your fault, if you get sued, that insurance is going to go to the moon, because that's literally the bottom line of insurance. It's risk analysis. And Tiffany Henyard and co. are a terrible, terrible risk right now. So getting a policy, I love to see it. I love to see the premium on that bad boy, right?
Yeah, and there's an extension saying that they'll allow us to extend it to a certain day. They still didn't show up. And when they did show up, that carrier said they no longer want to play this game, and they opted out of getting Thornton Township insurance. Therefore, we had to look for a new carrier. Finally, we found a new carrier, and that's what you see before you. The meeting that they called didn't have a carrier, which was that last prize. We have a new carrier now today, Monday. So we have an opportunity to fix when they have broken, which is come here and vote for the much-needed insurance to keep the township operating. And that goes for, once again, to keep our benefits open, to also allow us to pick up our seniors, to take them where they need to go. We should not move forward due to the fact of the board of trustees playing these games and not showing up to board meetings to handle the business. If they call me, I show up. If I call me, why aren't you here? Why don't you take care of the people's business? I need the residents to pay attention to what's before them, and I need you to pay attention to facts and not get involved in
I think that's what's happening, is that the residents are paying attention to the facts. The only people who aren't paying attention to the facts are Tiffany Henyard supporters. And they don't really care. They just want whatever Tiffany Henyard wants without really thinking what is best for the township in general. Because they got a bunch of stuff from Tiffany Henyard and they think that she's the greatest leader ever. Well, then why does she have an FBI probe going on? Why is Lori Lightfoot doing an investigation? I mean, so many questions, so few answers.
The about story that's out here in the world as it relates to clickbait. I need us to come together and demand that the board of trustees show up to board meetings. I am now today calling for the resignation of Carmen Carlile and also Chris Gonzalez. They should resign from office because clearly you do not want to do this job. Clearly you do not care about the residents of Thornton Township, that along the seniors or the youth. Clearly you do not want to see us foresee with a good year for 2025. So I'm asking for you to step down. You can send me a memo, you can email it to me. You can send it to any one of my staff members, and we will gladly accept your resignation immediately. Residents, please hold on a little longer. I know it's been tough. It is the election coming up. I know you guys have seen the mass and should be going on with that as well. But that too should pass. I was speaking down to the caucus today. You have court or the caucus. You guys know I am suing Napoleon Harris and also DOT's organization for that illegal unconstitutional meeting that they held.
Unconstitutional. Oh, it's great.
And I don't wish that on anybody. And I need the residents to stand up and have the voice as relates to you being the voiceless on the.
So residents, before you stand up and support that, you might want to do just a scooch of research. Yeah, that'd be a good idea. If you don't want to, which you probably won't because you think Tiff Tiff is the greatest thing since sliced bread. All right. Okay. Again, you get what you pay for.
people has out in the cold in the media, all y'all's out there. And it's a shame that you, media, that's why I call it fake news, did not showcase the residents out in the cold on walls.
No, the media did. There's all kinds of stories. That side angle of the little concrete steps that take a jig jog and then go in the side of the building. There's all kinds of footage out there. There was interviews done out in the cold. All the major networks covered it. They all talked about it. So the only real fake news is the news that Tiffany Henyard tries to put out there, which is clearly just not based on reality. It's based on her political position. Period.
With our circumstances, could not get in, saying, let us in, let us vote. You guys could not showcase that, but yet you showcase what was inside the building. But what I will tell you, residents, is they didn't show you the people going entering through the back door, through the side door. They didn't show you the people that was not a Thornton Township resident.
Didn't I just talk about that? The side door? I mean, I watched it, and I'm in Seattle. What are you guys doing? Oh, just not really one. Nah, Tiffany Henyard is, she's trying to play on people not really analyzing the situation. All right. Okay. And that will work for a certain percentage of the population in Township of Thornton.
But I can name everybody in that building and did not live in Thornton Township, but was allowed to come in the building and partake in the evening of caucus, which was ran by in detail the polling areas who do not live in Thornton Township. And I say that Dr. Constantine, he does not live in Thornton Township. And yes, I am the only one that has the strength and the guts to sue individuals when they do wrong to our township and to our government. It's a shame that people are sitting back and allowing this need to take place. So I stand for the people, and I'm continuing to rise up despite what people say about me in the media or in blogs, which is not true. I am showing you truth. You can follow me, whether it's on Facebook. You put a correspondence out to residents so that you can follow what's going on in your community. I just hate the fact that people are allowing this to happen and not doing nothing about it. I wish the people would take a stance and not allow people to take over your government, which they're trying to run this dictatorship. And we're going to ask the judges to overturn it, which I feel they will. But until that happens, I just want you to know, you're in court today, but we will be in Chancery Court. When the next court date is announced, I'll let the rest of you know, and you can come down with me.
So much ado about nothing. Right? So much ado about nothing. What does that mean? It means a lot of words, nothing really said. This is what is happening, Township of Thornton. Just a little bit of information would go a long, long ways. And that is basically what Chris Gonzalez and Carmen Carlile are asking for. A little bit of information, a little bit of transparency. We can get this thing back on the road. But Tiffany Henyard isn't going to do that because that transparency will not work in her favor. She will have to disclose kind of what's actually going on. And so you've got all these, meandering storylines coming through all at the same time. And at some point in time, that's going to start to pop. It's going to things are going to start to go, oh, hey, you're going to judge's order here, judge's order there. All right. The insurance issue, here's where it actually comes down to. Okay, this is how much it's going to cost. Ooh, good Lord, that's not good. You're going to have some point. We're kind of stalled out with all of this happening because you don't have a quorum. And so you can't get anything done. How much longer is this going to go on? Probably for a while. Right? Until something pops, and something will pop at some point. Make sure you're subscribed because I'll be there to cover it. Thanks again for being here. Catch up with you in the next one. Bye for now.